The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Okay, I have this we really changed subjects again, okay? This comes from James Youngblood, and he wrote me just today. And apparently there was a meeting, I think it was up in Chicago, about Sheriff Apollo's cold case posse against the birth certificate investigation, and the meeting with Congressman Steve Stockman about the Obama ID fraud investigation. And will D.C. finally investigate the birth certificate fraud issue?
Which issue in particular are you discussing? Which birth certificate issue?
Well, Obama's.
That's kind of garbled. I missed the first part. I heard you say something about Chicago.
Well, I think there was a meeting or a convention with a lot of the sheriffs, okay, across the country,
right.
And there was a meeting, okay, where Sheriff Arpaio and his cold case posse about the birth certificate investigation, and Congress Steve Stockman was here there at the same time. So in fact, Congressman Stockman was a keynote speaker there. And the issue on the birth certificate fraud case came up. We want to know, is D.C. finally going to investigate the fraud issue? Whether he was born in the United States, but his release of his birth certificate and that it was fraudulent to begin with.
Well, I haven't heard the discussion that you're outlining about the president's birth certificate, and I know I'm familiar with the Arpaio investigation with regards to it, but I would just say to you that, and this is my personal opinion on this, I mean, if that birth certificate was fraudulent or something fraudulent had been done about that, someone would have turned out that evidence by now. Again, I don't think that's an issue that you're hearing a lot of discussion about because of that. So Sheriff Arpaio or somebody else has evidence of fraud, I mean, they need to present that publicly. Otherwise, I think we have all these other issues you've outlined today that are really important for our country. And that's one of the points I really want to raise. I know there's a lot of people depressed about the fact that this president was reelected, a few months ago, but he's not going to be president forever. He's got 3.5 years, 3 years left. We need to start thinking about what comes up after that. What can we start doing now to help this country recover from the horrible decisions that he's making and the horrible positions that he's taken that's put our country in such a deep hole with a debt of, by the time he's done being president, the debt will be over $20 trillion. I mean, how is it that we're going to recover from that? How are we going to repeal Obamacare and the impact that it's going to have on our economy? What are we going to do with all these regulations that are being put into place that are going to still be there after he leaves? Which one of those are we going to repeal or pull back? Some of these things, by the way, are going to do some serious damage in the front end. Some of these things are going to be very difficult to recover from. We have to start realizing that we're going to have a chance here in the next couple of years, first with the elections of 2014 with the Congress, and hopefully we can take a majority in the Senate, and then in 2016 to once again start to undo some of the damage that this president has done. And I think that's one of the things I hope we'll start focusing on now moving forward, because we should not underestimate the serious damage that all of these decisions are doing to our country. The damage that Obamacare is going to do to small businesses in this country. Some of them will never recover from. Some people will go out of business because they cannot comply with Obamacare and its mandates, and they may never be able to recover from that. And these are the things that we need to start talking about and thinking about right now.
Okay, based on that, okay, Ed Bush wrote, okay, he says, rest my fears. There you go with that water thing, okay? Where's mine? We understand that.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.